So today I want to welcome Suzi Mosely-Payne to our interviews. Thank you ever so much for joining me today. It's really lovely to have you here. I know Suzi from the online world. We are in a membership group together, so I know she does amazing things. So just firstly, could you just tell us what you do right now?
Hi everyone. Hi Tina. Thank you so much for having me. It's an absolute pleasure to be with you today. So what I do, I am an online business owner. I am a business strategist and I am a coach. And what does that mean? You might be everybody sat there thinking, what does that mean? So basically what I do is I help entrepreneurs and small businesses start their dream business or take it from where it is now to make it more successful.
Brilliant. So it's being able to kind of help people create a brand new business, which I know you do really successfully as well. So that's amazing. But you didn't sit at the age of 3 in the sandpit with your friends kind of saying, when I grow up, I want to be a entrepreneur business strategist, did you? So what was
Absolutely not.
journey to get into here now?
Wow, it has been a journey as well. So when I was at school and in my mid-teens, I've never been an A-star student ever. Getting good grades has always been a struggle for me. I wouldn't say that I did achieve good grades in my GCSEs because I worked hard for them. I wasn't one of these people that it naturally came to and 5 minutes of revision and out popped an A-star. I had to work for my grades. So I left school and I didn't really know what I wanted to do. And I knew that I knew what I was good at, and that was IT, and it was also business studies, because they were my best subjects while I was at school. So off I went to college to pursue my A-levels, or GNVQ as it was back then, quite a long time ago now. And I also, because I've always been very ambitious and very driven, I managed to get on a course it was supposed to be a full-time course, but they were trialing it 1 day a week. So I managed to get an office job, which was 4 days, and then I went to college 1 day a week. It was very intensive, 2 years worth of business studies alongside working. And at the end of it, I still didn't really know what box I fit into. I had to just make a decision. Was I going to go back to university? Was I going to go back to college or go to university? Or was I going to go and try and get a different job which would take me on a career path that I didn't actually know what that path was going to be? So I ended up taking a role as an IT engineer of all things, which was absolutely bizarre to my parents. They tried to persuade me not to take it. It was, I'm a very girly girl, but the job was very technical. It was the hardware side of computers. It was fixing servers, laptops, desktops, very, very hands-on, but I absolutely loved it. And that led me to my career as it is now. So in my early 20s, like I say, I've always been very driven. And I guess what I have been good at is going with what I'm passionate about. Or if I saw an opportunity, rather than shying away from it, I would jump at it. So if there was something, even if I was scared to death and I didn't know what I was doing, if I thought that it was going to take me to the next level and accelerate my career, then I went for it. And by the age of 22, I was working, I was a manager, I was on a fast track management program working for Royal Mail. I had a team of 20 field support engineers, and it was a fast acceleration of my career. And I absolutely loved it. But I knew in my heart that being a support engineer, it never sat with me as something that I felt that I was really good at. I knew I could do it, but there was just something, there was a niggle. And then I was offered a role as a project manager when I was just 23. And I was the youngest in the company. And I just went for it, threw everything at it. The other team members took me under their wing. They trained me up. I didn't shy away from any challenges. And then by the age of 26, I had got another niggle. So I'd moved around, I'd done different project management jobs, but the niggle inside of me, I was very ambitious. I wanted to push myself, really wanted to push myself, see what I could achieve. I wanted to know what the limits of my capability were. And also I wanted to learn. I was like a sponge, absorbing everything in. And then at age 27, I'm trying to remember now, at age 27, I decided that I didn't want to work for anybody else anymore and that I wanted to be self-employed. So after a lot of time thinking it over, and it wasn't a reckless decision, it took me at least a year and a half to get me to the point, I actually resigned from my corporate job as a project manager and I went out on my own as a self-employed consultant, freelancer. And it was incredibly scary. I left my full-time job, which was a really well-paid job for my age, and I'd got nothing. I'd got no clients. I didn't know where to start, but it worked out so well. And the journey through that has led me through from project management, program management, into more leadership positions in companies, in big companies. I've worked for Rolls-Royce, Citibank, PlusNet, I've worked for Experian, and I've done a lot of different roles. And where I started is definitely not where I've ended up. It's been a complete roller coaster journey. And then most recently, I left the corporate world behind to work with small businesses and entrepreneurs, because that's where I think I can make the most impact.
Wow. And do you know what? I think there's going to be a huge amount of people that can, especially the start of that journey, can certainly kind of see themselves in that role. I know there are a lot of people out there who don't find school easy, that don't find exams easy, and the GCSEs and the A levels, and they're getting harder and harder. And quite a lot of these students are going to be people who don't find study easy, who don't find revision easy. So to be able to kind of, they're going to be panicking right now, kind of, they're going to be looking at their GCSEs and their revision thinking, oh, I'm not getting this, I don't understand this, that's it, I've got no chance of finding a career. And there you are saying, well, actually, you know, I had to work really hard as well, it didn't come easy for me, I did come out with my GCSEs, but then that's when my life took over, that's when the exciting stuff happened, that's when all those opportunities came your way, because actually your skill set is about your determination, your commitment, and like you said, not shying away from those opportunities that came to you. I mean, wow, you know, it's a really good sort of journey that you've been on, and you can see why you are able to help people so easily, because you've got all of that experience that you kind of took with you.
I did go to, so in terms of university, I didn't go to university in a traditional sense, but what I did do is I did a degree through the Open University, and I did it very part-time. So 5.5 years it took me to get 2 degrees with the OU, but I'm so glad that I did it that way, because I built my experience and I got my certifications in parallel. But I always focused on what I was passionate about, because it was the passion that kept me going when it was really difficult. I think if you pick things that you're not passionate about and that you're doing because you feel you have to, or somebody perceives that's the right thing for you but you're not sure, then the struggle will always be more. If you go with what you're passionate about, then you'll be able to get over those challenges so much easier, because you want it more, you want it in your heart.
Yeah, and that's amazing advice to give people, because I think a lot of people assume that these kind of universities and OUs, they're for stay-at-home mums, or they're for old people who are kind of finding careers towards the end of their lives. They assume that as a youngster, or 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, their only route is through traditional universities. And to be able to kind of sit there and say, actually, you know, there are other ways to do it, you can do it alongside building experience, I think it's going to be huge for people to be able to understand, and they'll be certainly kind of able to learn from that. So really appreciate that great advice. So thank you ever so much for joining me today and for sharing your journey with us. It's been amazing, and I know for a fact that you're going to have helped quite a lot of people today. So
Good. Thank you so much for having me.